Actually, just to clarify, the pension obligation never disappeared. The state of New Jersey just said, you guys don't have to pay because we think we're so wealthy. And the League of Municipalities said that you could do that.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, that never went away. The obligation never went away. It's just that we took the recommendation of the league.
I'm speaking to the moving of the funding of those pensions from the state at a 20 to 25% level over the last 4 or 5 years, which will terminate in 2009 and 2008, in which time you will have 100% responsibility. So you will be taking additional, just the increases, you will not be taking the increases plus the additional 20 or 25%. And that's the part I'm referring to.
So what is your suggestion, Mr. Connor? Looking at the charts, what is
my
your
recommendation?
Yeah.
I recommend the wraparound.
Okay. Anybody else have a question or comment? Okay. Township Committee, anybody else with questions or comments? Are we prepared to decide? Have you guys looked at this? Are you prepared to decide?
I am.
Tina?
Well, I am. Just,
Mead?
I want to save tax dollars.
What, can I hear what your thoughts are?
Again, I like to look at the long term. I absolutely understand everybody's points, and philosophically, I'm just opposed to saving money today to have more debt down the road. That's just my personal philosophy. But
what do you think about Mr. Connor's statements, Mr. Schlegel's statements?
I absolutely appreciate it, but the problem is there is generally speaking some other debt that's going to be obligated down the road. So I don't like to make any decision based on what may disappear. My household usually has a new expense that pops up when something else disappears, so it's not much different in government. So,
actually, just from a philosophical point of view, the wraparound debt, aside from Chris's commentary, in 2014 we're actually going to be losing a humongous debt burden. 650,000 of the overall debt burden. So you look at the longer end, and you basically drop from 1.4 down to triple digits as opposed to a million handle.
And we'll probably be issuing new debt.
Well, everybody can live in the probably land, but you're basically, by leveling it off, you kind of know what your obligations are, and if you do manage to maintain the budget and you don't hit those obligations, and you do it smartly, I think you can actually see a decrease in the debt burden going forward.
That'd be great.
Yep, and
So what would your recommendation be?
I'm looking at the wrap.
At the wrap? How about you, Jerry?
Well, in light of Mead's comments, I think the wrap is definitely.
The problem is,
I agree with you, Chris, but
we're going to have new debt based on.
I like to pay as you go too. I mean, I like to
Sure.
pay for your purchases as you go along.
Right. I mean, as one of the topics that we're going to have to discuss this year, and it's no longer a discussion item, that we're going to be obligated to do some maintenance requirements to the sewer system that we're obligated by the DEP. It has nothing about expanding and rebuilding. It's absolute obligations under the law. So we're probably going to have to issue some new debt to do that. So
probably right.
What Mead's saying is that we're going to have less debt as our other debt rolls off.
I don't think we are, though. I guess that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, I wish it were true. I just don't. I don't see that happening.
If that happens this year, I don't expect to see anything with a 5 or 6 handle as far as interest payments as well.
Yeah.
I would still presume we'd be looking at a 4 and change.
You're feeling, Jerry?
Oh, this year, absolutely, me too.
No, I still like the level, and I still like to know what your payments are. I do. I like the comfort in knowing that.
Yeah, I do too as well. The level you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, we criticize other committees that do things, and we had a couple debt 15 years ago, and they made a commitment not to refinance, but back then refinancing would have been money out.
The short-term debt was a better.
Yeah, so the idea is that I don't want to have committees 10 years from now having to pay for something that we need to do now. So I like the
I agree with
levels.
that one, because I know that's exactly what we're facing. So I agree with that. Now, so
Actually, I would like actually more time to analyze this.
can we have more time to analyze? I mean, is it possible?
Well, bond counsel is going to prepare the documents the way you describe it. I mean, if
This proposal hasn't been out there that long.
Yeah, we just got it.
We just got it.
It
And
is-
it's not that complicated, but I mean, we should be able to look at it and run some calculations and see where we stand on this.
I think that we did have a discussion that, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, I think we did look at drop dead dates, and I think the next meeting was our drop dead date,
So we
right?
decide on it the next meeting, then.
So we could,
No
it's
problem
okay
with
to,
that.
I just
Does
want
bond
to,
council have to prepare submissions to local finance board? Is that what's, making time of the essence
There's
here?
certain documentation. I don't know if there's a vote required tonight to pick the amortization schedule. I think maybe if you want to just,
To obligate ourselves to permanent financing, I think we can make that vote, right?
Oh, okay.
We could do that.
we,
I mean, but we
Yeah.
don't have to.
And
I'd
I-
rather
Well, I think
see-
for them to prepare the paperwork, we do.
Is this possible, to update this with the current market interest rates, because that will affect certain things. I mean,
Yeah.
it will affect a lot. Maybe get an email to
I think what we're
everybody.
just saying, Jerry, is that I think we have to vote tonight to obligate us to permanent financing. What
That's fine.
what schedule we do it
don't
upon,
have
we
to pick
can
wrapper
do it.
level.
well, I know
Oh,
the
that's
bond
fine, yeah,
council was looking for the
absolutely.
everybody agree
schedules.
with
Yeah, I'm
that?
agreeing with that.
The bond councils were looking
Right.
for the
So we're
schedule.
We need a
agree.
roll call vote for
We
that?
didn't
We're
need the
looking
roll
for the
call.
schedule.
They were
Which
looking
one?
for the schedule.
Well, I
Which
think we
one?
should at least have.
They were looking on
I think it's
a
unanimous.
decision of the schedule,
Either level or
just either
wraparound.
level or wraparound.
Correct. When
Okay.
did you email this to us?
When I received it. It did this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yesterday.
Yeah, okay, Tuesday,
Tuesday?
yeah.
Okay, so I think we're just.
5:07 yesterday is when I got this email.
So I'd just
Okay.
like to make a motion that we,
I don't think you need a motion.
I want you
Let's
to be
just
that
get
particular.
consensus.
that we're
Yeah,
gonna.
as soon as I received it, I
The-
passed it along, so.
The first question is, everybody in agreement that we're going to go to the permanent financing, right?
Yes.
Anybody disagree? Okay, so we're in agreement on that. Then the question is, do we feel that, well, first of all, let me ask a point of information. It's okay to put it off to the next meeting?
Well, I mean, Mayor, with all due respect, I mean, I know where Mr. Collins stands, and I know where Mr. Briggs stands, I know where Ms. Genevieve stands, it really, where Mr. Aronio and yourself stand. So I don't think there's any reason not to say, we know where they stand. If you two provide me some email communication back, then at least I know how to advise bond counsel, and we're done.
Okay, so they
It's
could
only
take a
the
couple
two of you,
days.
everybody else, I'm comfortable in recognizing where you want to be.
All right, that's.
Is that fair?
I mean, is that legal? Because that's
Yes.
the next question.
Because you're just communicating with the administrator, and the actual decision will be made formally at the next meeting, in any event.
Okay,
So don't communicate with each other and
Beautiful.
decide among
Just
yourselves.
communicate with Kevin.
Just if you two let Kevin know
Good.
how you'd like
Okay.
to go.
so let's handle it that way. Any objection to handling it that way? Beautiful. So we know we have Ms. Genevieve and Mr. Collins interested in the level, Mr. Briggs interested in the wraparound, and then,
I'm leaning towards level if that matters, but I'd like to
but you still
look
want
at
to
it.
look at it.
Well,
Okay,
due
yeah,
respect,
I-
I'll wait to hear back from the both of you two.
Very
and-
good.
and
Thank
with
you.
Business.
Okay,
We'll email the updated schedule, full bond council first, and get the the market, and then we'll do those schedules.
Thank you.
Great,
Great.
thanks, Joe.
thank you very
Thanks, Mike.
much.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks,
All
Mike.
right.